The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Well, good Tuesday morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee Time with Blind United. I got Miss Carol with me this morning and Pedro. So good morning, y'all.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
So this evening, we do have one interest group for you tonight. It's Basic Jaws with Andrew Del Castillo. That's at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So, if you're trying to learn some Jaws or having an issue with Jaws or, just got to a point where you're trying to figure out how to do something and know there's a command there somewhere but can't figure out what the command is or whatever the case may be, that's what this group is all about. Come on in. Andrew normally does have some sort of a lesson planned, but again, here at Blind United, our priority is to help move you past the barriers that you might be facing. So we'll definitely check with you and see if anybody has any of those barriers before we get into a lesson plan, if nobody has any issues. So come out again, join us tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific time tonight, and let Andy teach you, help you out with whatever you need to know about JAWS or MBDA and, stuff like that. Matter of fact, I was wondering, I just seen yesterday they got a new release for a brand new NBDA. So they're, telling people they need to download the latest version. So if you're an NBDA user, check it out because you should have an update for a whole new version. So I'm pretty sure Andy's going to know about that if that's one of the things that you use. So anyway, we're going to move on and get into our articles for the day. I mean, I guess we all might as well just theme this one Trump Tuesday. Man, I really don't like talking about this guy, but I mean, every day is something new with him. I mean, it just can't seem to get away from all of his drama and his theatrics and all this other kind of stuff. So anyway, this first article is going to be about how he is restructuring the federal workforce. So check this out, y'all.
Hey, Blind United crew. Grab your first cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into this first article. The Trump administration is accelerating a plan that could fundamentally reshape the 2 million-strong federal workforce. The move, which involves reclassifying tens of thousands of civil servants, is being praised by supporters as a way to ensure government accountability, but condemned by critics as a dangerous effort to politicize what has long been a nonpartisan service. An executive order would create a new category of federal employee known as Schedule F. This order would apply to potentially 50,000 workers who are in roles deemed to have an influence on policy. By placing them in Schedule F, they would be stripped of the job protections that have been in place for over 140 years, effectively making them at-will employees who can be fired and replaced with little cause or process. Supporters of this plan argue that this change is essential for a president to actually implement the agenda they were elected on. They contend that a permanent bureaucracy of federal workers often works to obstruct a president's goals. By being able to remove and replace these employees with people who are loyal to the administration's vision, supporters say the government will become more efficient and more responsive to the will of the voters. Those who oppose the move, however, see this as a direct assault on the core principles of American governance. They argue that this plan dismantles the merit-based civil service system, which was created in the 1880s to end the corruption of the old spoils system. These opponents, including government unions and watchdog groups, warn that a workforce based on personal loyalty rather than expertise will lead to less competent government. This policy strikes at the heart of a fundamental question. Should the federal government be run by a stable, nonpartisan class of experts, or should it be more directly controlled by the political vision of the sitting president? The push for this change is forcing a national conversation about the nature of government service itself, with the future of the federal workforce hanging in the balance. What are your thoughts on this? We'd love to hear them. Let us know in the comments. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, let me start by saying, man, this is very, very dangerous. I mean, he's eliminating a lot of, has already eliminated a lot of career government workers. I mean, experts in, their departments of their field, right? And, again, it asked a question. I mean, I would rather have people that have knowledge and expertise rather than somebody that's just going to, be complacent to whatever Trump wants to have done. But again, this is part of his plan, y'all. I mean, he sent, Musk and his Doge goons around, and they started firing people and gathering all kind of information on people and all these other kind of things. And now he's coming up with this new thing, these Schedule F workers, to where he's actually having people write essays on which of his policies do you more align with, and what would you do in an effort to make those policies reality if you were to get hired. That's crazy. I mean, it's just totally crazy. But if he gets his way, then guess what? He's got the government in the palm of his hand, and he can, you know, just all kind of stuff. I mean, I'm being honest. I want somebody, like as an example, at Social Security, when they're doing these reevaluations and all this or whatever need to be done from time to time, periodically, right? I don't want them going back and looking at the old information and say, oh, okay, well, this guy's a Democrat, so no, we're going to cut his benefits. Or whatever the case may be. This guy's an ex-con, so we're going to cut his benefits. Whatever the case may be. No, that's not just.
And we're seeing that, Ed, with with it could end up what you're saying, that he's Democrat, let's cut his benefits, let's take away his bank account. They talk about that all the time. They call unbanked. They've been unbanked and stuff like that. That's what they say on the right, but they're the ones pushing the line. And a perfect example is what's happening to the Democrat leadership, the one person that got killed. um, this rhetoric has become dangerous. He's throwing a wrecking ball to our federal government because he just wants yes men.
He wants to
Yeah,
consolidate all the power into the White
everything.
House, and he can't do that.
No. I mean,
He
what
can't.
happened to qualifications and experience? None of that matters anymore. It's like he wants human robots to just follow whatever plan it is that he says, no matter whether it's right or wrong. You just have to agree. And that's crazy. It's scary, y'all. It really is.
No, it's definitely extremely scary. And just along a little side note, anybody in the, San Bernardino, LA area that may be dealing with some of these issues already, we have a Inland Valley pro bono law firm that will be a resource at our crafting fair, and that's what they do. That's exactly what they do. They help people when they're unjustly cut off or their benefits get cut or whatever the case may be. I myself have used them. They did a fantastic job for me. Not only did they get my benefits reinstalled, but they also got my benefits that were taken away reimbursed to me. So again, this is all something that we try to help out and do what we can, and we're trying to make sure we got resources there that can help you folks for whatever you may be going with, whether they cutting your Medicaid, Medi-Cal out here, or your SNAP benefits, or whatever it might be. I mean, they got a wide range of things they cover, as well as after the crafting fair this Saturday, we will be doing a special webinar group uh, the following week, where she will come in, and for those that were unable to attend the crafting event and speak to her directly, she'll come on and do a Zoom group with us, and let those in other places, you know what I'm saying, and get their questions answered. So anyway, but yeah. I mean, again, this guy's just out of control, man.
And I believe
All
that
power.
yeah, he's after power. Plus, I believe some of his plan is to throw a wrecking ball to these agencies like the Social Security, right? So he can deem them that they ain't working properly. He could say they don't work. So what? Then they could privatize it. They want to privatize the government. Is what he's trying to do. That's what I believe he's trying to do. He's trying to reshape it to the Republicans' eye point, to the Agenda 2025. Straight out. He is planning that. And you can tell he's going beyond that because the way he's already doing the moves. He's going beyond that plan. So that whole thing about, I don't know about Agenda 25, and he was knee deep into that. That was his whole thing. He lied to his supporters. He lied to the entire country, like he lies every second he takes a breath. That man is lying. Like somebody said, the
Oh yeah,
orange tornado.
it's
And again,
terrible.
everything that he is trying to do right now is within that Project 2025 agenda.
That
You
he
know,
himself said what didn't exist. Remember?
right. But everything he's trying to do is in that thing that well, I guess he did tell the truth. He said, well, I never read it. Well, that's because you guys don't know how to read.
No, 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 no. He never read it because he's too lazy that he has somebody read it to him. So he heard it.
Mm.
That you have to use proper language with that dude.
I seen a thing where they now have to give him his daily intelligence briefings like it's a newscast.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That is
That dude's brain
crazy.
is mush. That look, I don't want to. I'm not ageist or anything like that, but like it dawns to me that he, is running the country, the most job that demands the most from you because I think it's more than I think it's like 14, 16 hours on call almost. You know, this man already 25% of his like quarter of his time in office already, quarter of it has been spent vacationing and golfing.
You get that's a low estimate. I heard
Yeah,
it's at
that's a
least
low
a
estimate, but
third of his time.
a third, okay. Well, when we
Mm.
probably done, it's gonna be half of his time.
And he hadn't even been in there 6 months, y'all.
I know. Think
That
about that
man,
one, guys. Think about that one. Not even 6 months, and look the turmoil he has
Look
caused.
at what has happened already.
Such a wonderful, well, what they called him, a brilliant mind when it comes to business. But
Mm.
he failed 7 of them.
okay.
He
But see, they say it's actually smart business to file bankruptcy.
that means you failed. That means
How's
I
that
okay.
smart?
Okay, Ed. I thought we was not giving participation trophies out to Republicans because they complain about it so much. I think that's
Well,
what they
when
want.
these millionaires and billionaires consider that a good move is because you eliminate debt that you no longer have to pay back, which puts more money in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? So in their
Right.
mind, it's a smart move.
That is
But
so
what about the
crazy.
people that you just screwed out of their money?
Out of their money. That's right.
You know,
Mhm.
I mean, look at all the contractors that he screwed over the years when it comes to his construction projects. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
The
All this
non-pay.
just crazy. This dude is, I, he is unstable. He's unhinged, and he is a danger to our country and our way of life.
One more. And also, he's corruptible. We've seen it in real time. He is willing to take bribes left and right, and we see it all the time.
Well,
And
not only
people are
that,
afraid to go against him. Evidently his power is working because nobody is willing
well,
on
that's
his side of
because
the
he
fence to
has
stand up to him.
possession. It's because he got possession of the Epstein files, and he knows everybody else that's listed.
He's got the dirt.
He's got the dirt on everybody. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's how he. That's one way that he's gaining all of this power. But again, we're talking about his corruption being front and center and very blatant. I mean, look at how he's created these meme coins. These crypto coins, just as an avenue for people to pay to play with him.
Right. Right.
It's just that simple. I mean, you come up, you show him that you got, 100 million, whatever, in your wallet, your wallet of his crypto coin, right?
Hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I can talk to you. You already gave me 100 million. You
Wow.
know, I mean, but
Or
that's
But
basically how it's going.
that's what's
yeah,
happening.
yeah, like that
Hmm.
one lady gave him $1 million, and he pardoned the two, the wife and the husband.
Right. He pardoned her parents, the lady
Yeah,
that
her
donated
parents,
the money.
straight out, blatantly, right
I
there,
mean,
blatantly, right there.
I
That's
mean,
crazy.
that whole dinner he had, luckily people were smart enough and did not allow him to have that dinner in the White House. But he held that dinner where you had to bring your crypto wallet and you had to show that, it was only what the top whatever bidders or,
Yeah.
donors or whatever you
Mhm.
want to call them, payoffs or,
Mhm. Mhm.
they
The
got
top
to
Right.
attend that dinner.
donors supposedly.
And then 80-90% of them showed up wearing masks because they didn't want you to know who they were.
Because they know it's crooked.
Cowards.
And then look,
You know,
this man says this is my after personal hours when behind him said the president of the United States. That's your sign. You're saying your government. Like I don't understand it. Like it's and then no cameras inside. The thing about wearing masks, that should tell you these people have shame
Right.
showing their faces, but they have no shame in taking from everybody else and being corrupt, just like their orange tornado.
so even this thing with his, oh well, it has something. He's doing this on his personal time, so it has nothing to do with the government. No, the minute you place your hand on that Bible and you take the oath and
Hmm.
step in for your term,
You
you
on the job?
technically no longer have any personal time. Now, that's
That's
not
right.
to say that you can't go, to your vacation home or Camp David or something
Hmm.
like that. It's
Hmm.
not saying you can't go golfing every once in a while, but you cannot do anything to conduct any sort of business that will profit you personal gain
Hmm.
while you are in office, and he is doing it every day.
Yes.
It's just that simple. So
Yes.
anyway, right quick, Monica said good morning. She's on her way up into the High Valley. Be
Morning,
safe out
Monica.
there,
Good
Monica.
morning, Monica. She's on a trip right now. She's going far.
Yeah,
Mm.
Hmm. Yeah,
you
stay
know,
safe, baby. I'll call you later.
yeah, of course you will.
You better.
But again, this is just some crazy, crazy, crazy stuff, y'all. This man is doing so many different insane things. We got another thing coming up for you right after these promos.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
Hustling jingles, $10 a shot. Birthday beats and holiday knocks. Gotcha covered for the ones you love. Personalized joy like a custom glove. Get your jingle hot and fresh. Info at blindunited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford. Got a catchy tune for your babe. Poppin' beats like dreams we crave. For Mama's Day or Papa's cheer, let's make smiles from ear to ear. Get your jingle hot and fresh. Info at blindunited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford.
All right. Well, again, we are still doing the jingles. Well, Pedro is doing jingles. But again, they not just for, they're for any special occasion, y'all. Birthdays, graduations, I got my toenail removed day or whatever you want to call it, if it's a special occasion to you.
The kids ain't home day.
Yeah, the kids ain't home day, whatever. Pedro can work it out. It's just a matter of how you want, what you're looking for. So anyway, Anthony says good morning. So good morning, Anthony. We miss you, my brother.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And Monica says it's hot out there already.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, I don't know if y'all heard, but, he went to this supposed to be, was it G7 summit in Canada. He left Sunday and went up there. And then bottom line, just basically went to Canada and supposed to have been meeting with, world leaders from, 6 other countries or whatever the case may be. And he just got up in there and started, insulting people and talking about how Putin is mad because he's no longer part of it because it used to be the G8, now it's the G7, and all this other kind of stuff. And then he had scheduled meetings to meet with, the folks from Canada as well as the president of Ukraine as well as the president of Mexico. And because he didn't like the way things were going down, he made an excuse talking about he had to get home so he could deal with the, Iranian war. Okay. So he bounced. Okay. So, but anyway, check this out.
Hey, Blind United crew. Grab your next cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into the second article. President Trump is attending his first international summit of his second term, the G7 meeting in Calgary, Canada. While the official agenda includes global security, the story emerging from the summit is the president's confrontational treatment of other world leaders, causing significant friction with America's closest allies. The strain was visible early on. During a press event with the Canadian Prime Minister, the president publicly complained about Russia's past expulsion from the group and announced a trade deal with the United Kingdom based on personal preference. His approach has prioritized individual deals over group consensus on major international issues. The most dramatic moment of the summit so far has been the president's sudden decision to leave a day early. He cited the escalating conflict between Israel and Iran and posted a message on social media urging an evacuation of Tehran before announcing his departure, meaning he will miss a high-stakes meeting with Ukraine's president. This abrupt exit has left other world leaders scrambling. The G7 summit was intended to show a united front, But the president has shown little interest in that goal, refusing to sign a joint statement calling for de-escalation in the Middle East. Instead of a summit focused on unity, the event in Calgary is shaping up to be a showcase of a hardline America First diplomacy. The president's direct and unpredictable treatment of other world leaders is leaving allies unsettled and creating an atmosphere of deep uncertainty on the world stage. What are your thoughts on this? We'd love to hear them. Let us know in the comments. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
This dude is just totally out of control. I mean, I actually heard something this morning, unverified, of course, but I heard something this morning where Canada has now banned Trump from coming to Canada any longer.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's crazy. Well, it's about time somebody put a ban on his ass. He's putting all these bans on everybody else.
True.
You know. But again, what happened to the days when the president would, do an emergency broadcast or whatever, a special report, whatever, where they would come out and they would announce that they were getting ready to go to war with a specific country, right?
Mm.
He ain't doing that, but he gonna put it out in a social media tweet. You need to get out of Tehran. Hold on, well, for why? Why do I need to leave Tehran? Okay, bottom line, in Donald Trump language, they're getting ready to get in this war.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what this is. He's getting ready to get involved with this war. This war has the potential to take us into World War III, y'all. World War III. Just think about that. World War III. Okay, that's crazy. And the way our country is set up right now, do you think, honestly, that America would bow down the way that they did in, World War I and II, where they dedicated all of America's resources? Do you guys realize that during the war, they didn't make American cars for a few years because they were busy making equipment for the military? They stopped doing any production of American products to supply the war. That's how we won that war. Do you honestly think that Americans are willing to do that at this point? For him?
Oh, no. Oh, no, we shouldn't.
This stuff is crazy. So, again, he needs to be impeached. He needs to be removed before he totally destroys our standing within the rest of the world. Not, that number one, before he turns this into a kingdom, a dictatorship, whatever they call that stuff, all of these anarchy kind of, all of these rich people, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
The autocrats, like they have in Russia, like they have in China, like they have in North Korea. You know what I'm saying? That's what he wants. You know what I'm saying? I actually seen something this morning where he went off on what's Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense or whatever it is, the ex-Fox reporter, because the military parade did not show a show of force that he wanted. Supposedly, again, the military was not marching in lockstep like the way they're trained to do. There were reports where supposedly, I guess, some of the soldiers were actually waving at, what few people did attend. But I mean, their uniforms weren't all, spit and shine like they supposed to be and all of that. It's like they really didn't even want to be there. You know what I'm saying? They took it as a casual thing rather than, he was mad because it seemed like everybody was having fun rather than showing strength. Okay. So, this dude is crazy. So anyway, go ahead, Carol.
For me, I I thought, when you have a congregation of men that's supposed to represent the whole world, that you stay through everything, whether you like what's being said or not. You're discussing things to try to bring everybody together. And here it is, he's left. And it's like, okay, maybe it is a retaliation of what happened on Saturday. Maybe he was upset because things didn't work out the way that he had anticipated it to be. But to leave and not finish, or like you say, I've been watching a great program and then beep, beep, breaking news comes in. I'm like, because I really wanted to watch my program, but here it is. We're being interrupted to discuss something that is worldwide that we need to know about. We don't get things like that. Like you say, he's doing things with tweets, and everybody don't have a computer. So what what is going to stop him? What I
We
mean,
are.
I'm left without words. I just
No,
can't
we
believe what's
are.
happening. It's
The,
crazy.
the answer is we are, Carol.
Hmm.
We, as the American people, as long as we show up like we did last Saturday, everywhere that he ain't, he can't win.
True.
He can't win. So anyway, Pedro popped out. I let him in. He can get back in. But yeah, I mean, this stuff is crazy. Let me know when you get in, Pedro. So this stuff is just totally outrageous that he's doing these kinds of things. Again, he is not interested in maintaining a relationship with our allies. I
Right.
think he's actually doing everything he can to destroy our relationship with our allies so that he can somehow prove himself to the people he looks up, like Putin and all the rest of them. That's who he's trying to impress at this point. He ain't impressing us,
No.
you
And I
know.
wouldn't want to be anyone other than me. I mean, why would you want to mimic the behavior of all of these other guys? You should want to stand alone and represent us. But he does not have that in mind. That is not what he is looking for. He wants
Right,
everyone to bow down to him, as if he is a king, an emperor. He's taking things back to where nobody wants to go to, but everybody seems to be following him because that's what he wants, or they're out of a job.
right.
Mm.
I just added you, Pedro.
Thank you, thank you. I couldn't get to up there. I don't know my. I was having problems. No, I was
It's
just
all
gonna
good.
say. I was just gonna say that um he went on stage and cried in front of the top nations and cried and tried to make a case for Putin, his buddy. He was upset that his buddy Putin didn't have a seat at the world stage because his friend Putin was acting the way he's acting. You see how I'm saying? He's a
Right.
crybaby. He's a whiner. He's the one. Remember when the right tells you why they giving up participation trophies? Well, Trump is an example of that, and the right. Trump is an example when they say that they're about freedom of speech. Well, Trump is the example that they're not. Trump is the example of everything they have said is a lie. When they are about um, more rights for the citizens, more freedoms, lie. It was all lies because he wants a styleful speech. He's puts out lawsuits to these media corporations and stuff, and complains about edits when we know how Fox edits him to sound great, to sound like he's cohesive. Um, they even when he's live, they even zoom. They go into cuts, so he won't sound like he's losing his mind. You know what I mean? It,
Mm.
it, it, it is crazy how they are the snowflakes. They are the snowflakes. Trump's a snowflake. He complains about everything.
And
And
that
they,
doesn't represent us at all.
you
I
know,
mean, he's supposed to speak with one voice for America. And I'm wondering if all of these other leaders really believe that that's what the Americans think.
No, they know that it's not. I mean, again, that's evident. I mean, just as an example, like the way the Canadian prime minister or whatever speaks, look, he said it. Look, we love America. We're not mad at y'all. We just can't deal with Trump.
Gotcha. Well, at least they are separating him from
You
us,
know,
because our views are the majority of our views. I can't speak for everyone, but we're not in unity with him.
no, we are not. And if nobody recognized that before, anybody on the planet that was paying attention, they got the message on Saturday.
True. That is
You know,
true.
when they looked and they seen all of the over, again, like I said, the high estimate I heard was over 2,100 different protests across the country. Some of them only had, maybe 100, 200 people, but there was other ones that had thousands. I mean, up into the hundreds of thousands of people that showed up
Mm-hmm.
in the
Right.
major cities.
And in Washington, crickets and squeaks from the tanks. That's how
Exactly.
quiet it was.
Exactly. And then the boy was so stupid. He played, well, his staff, whoever, his organizers, they played a song by, was it Crosby, Stills, Nash? I believe it was. It was
Mm.
called Young Boy or something like that, but it was an anti Vietnam song.
Hmm?
And he had that playing during the parade.
Oh, wow.
How
Out of touch.
ignorant can you be? How out of touch can you be? That's just ridiculous, man. Come on, man. These people don't know what the hell they doing.
Mm, mm,
None
mm.
of them. None of them know anything about what they doing. It's just totally outrageous the things that they are doing and the complacentness that they're showing to this man that has no loyalty to anybody but himself. But yet he wants to go into our first article. He wants to create an entire federal workforce that is loyal to him and him alone.
So, Ed, that speaks to some of the point we were talking about in previous episodes. How, um, why would you do this, right? Think about it.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You do this to have all yes men, so you won't leave office. You appoint the next person, and those yes men have to continue following. If
Yes.
think about this, Trump, let's say the Republicans, right? It gets to the new election, and a Democratic president comes in, and they already passed the line with all this stuff, and they set it up like that. Who is not to say that the next Democratic president could be like, okay, let's not expand on those ideas. Let's bring everything back, but expand on our ideas. I don't think they're planning for that. Otherwise, they
Oh,
wouldn't
no.
do this. They wouldn't do this if they knew that was coming up.
Well, I mean, not only that, let's go to this one. Like you said, let's say, he doesn't get his way and he does get voted out of office. Now the incoming administration has to go through, and all of those workers that he hired that were loyal to him, guess what? They all going to end up losing their job.
Right.
Okay, and now the cycle goes, and if they stick with those rules, guess what? I'm sorry, but Democrats are probably a lot better at hiring people that are more in line with Democratic values than they are conservative values.
Of course.
Hmm.
Because
Okay,
that's more of the people.
so again, that would be even worse. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, it would help us out because again, we get more of a social safety nets and all that kind of stuff back, but we'd never hear the end of it, even though he's the one that started it.
Right.
I mean, the same thing. Even what is it? You guys know what is that thing where they can get up and speak for what old boy just did
Filibuster
for filibuster. They implemented that, and then they got mad when we started using it against them.
against them. Hmm.
They don't think. They only think one square ahead. They don't think like three, four, five steps
You
ahead of
know,
nothing.
But like everything he's doing now, like you're saying, if a Democrat gets in there and starts doing it, then it's something wrong with that, but you played this playbook down. You're grooming things to where we can follow in your footsteps, but you're not going to like the way we run the
Well,
play.
see, the thing that, like Pedro was saying, they think one square ahead. The conservatives, the Republican Party, are not realizing this is chess, baby. This ain't checkers.
Right.
You know
and
what
in
I'm saying?
chess, the queen wins.
Well, I mean,
I'm waiting for Medicare for everybody then, man.
Universal.
But again, this is some crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. So anyway, we got one more for you. So let's go ahead and do these last couple promos, and then we'll get into this last one. Did you know Blind United offers free training in assistive technology? We call them interest groups. We offer training in JAWS, NVDA, iPhone, iPad, as well as Meta Ray-Bans. We also have groups like support group, cooking groups, and crafting groups. There are also groups for entertainment like movie night and RS game night. For more information about all the interest groups that we offer, just email us at info@blindunited.org or visit our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Group. We would love to have you be part of the Blind United crew.
I know it sounds wrong. Yeah. Show star, it's 21st, and we're setting it off. Blind United's popping with that handmade sauce. Necklaces, bracelets, jewels that gleam, mosaics and pastries like a sweet dream. Made by the people, I love no cap. Supporting our artists, now that's a wrap. Step to the fair, yeah, roll through the door. Blind United's got what you're looking for. Crafts, good vibes, and a whole lot of heart. This ain't just shopping, this here is art. Step to the fair, yeah, roll through the door. Blind United's got what you're looking for. Cookies, candles, and that custom bling. Supporting small makers doing their thing. Real talk, every item's got a soul. So grab your folks and let's hit that go. From the blind to the bold, from the hands to the heat. Every booth got a story, every table a beat. Come early, come ready, show love, don't play. We're building a vibe that won't fade away. So tune and pull up, it's the coffee time way. Craft fair on the 21st, don't delay. We doing it live, Blind United on the rise. Come catch that spark and support with pride.
Well, you know what? Before I move on, I wanted to say this. Pedro, thank you, because you do work miracles with this jingle stuff. I mean, that's a sample of one of Pedro's jingles. And think about it. That jingle said everything we want to say about our crafting event. You know what I'm saying? It said everything we want to say about Blind United, and how we're trying to, uplift our community. So, again, I just want to say thank you, Pedro, for that, as well as if you are planning to attend this Saturday on the 21st, please do not forget to bring with you your unused, broken, old, whatever cane that, just sitting in the corner collecting dust, whatever. As long as you got all the pieces, we'll take it, and we'll give you a raffle ticket where you could very possibly, win a prize for that. And not only that, beyond winning the prize, you have the knowledge of knowing that you helped someone on the other side of the planet that doesn't have a cane and can't get a cane. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's more satisfaction than, winning something for doing that act of kindness. So, anyway, let's jump into this last one. It's his administration, but JFK. Oh my goodness, this man is so. I don't know who's sicker, him or Trump. But anyway, check this out.
Hey, Blind United crew, grab another cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into this final article. A major new health policy from the administration is now at the center of a fierce storm of controversy. The Department of Health and Human Services, led by Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., has ordered the CDC to reverse its guidance on COVID vaccines for pregnant women and healthy children, a move based on a document that a new report says is filled with flawed and misleading science. The new policy announced last month states that the CDC will no longer recommend COVID vaccines for these groups. In a document sent to members of Congress to justify this decision, the department argued that a reevaluation of the risks and benefits led to the change. The problem, according to a new investigation by KFF Health News, is that the scientific evidence used in that document is deeply flawed, citing studies that were unpublished, disputed, or completely mischaracterized. The nation's leading medical organizations have almost universally condemned the new policy. The American Medical Association, the American Academy of Pediatrics, and the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists have all issued statements reaffirming their own recommendations that the vaccine is safe and effective. One expert from Baylor College of Medicine went further, calling the department's document willful medical disinformation and insulting to Congress. This situation has ignited a serious debate about the integrity of scientific information provided by government health agencies. While supporters praise the administration for questioning established medical guidance, critics argue that using flawed data to make national health policy erodes public trust in science and could lead to preventable illnesses. The controversy places lawmakers and the public in a difficult position, caught between official government guidance and the consent of the broader medical community. It raises critical questions about how policy is made and what evidence is used to make it, with the health of millions hanging in the balance. What are your thoughts on this? We'd love to hear them. Let us know in the comments. Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, the very first thing I want to say is JFK Jr., your relatives, your daddy, your uncles, your family members that have committed their life to public service are turning in their graves right now. They cannot believe what you are doing, okay? I mean, you're just destroying their name as well within, American history, right? Everything was good with the Kennedys until you came along, and now you're doing all of this crazy stuff. But okay, so now you want to listen to somebody that says, okay, well, just take this axle grease and rub it all over your body and leave it on there for 48 hours, and you'll no longer have any diseases. That's who you're listening to? I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I know I'm going extreme with it, but in essence, that's what he's doing. Okay, the reason we have all of these different organizations to do all of this research is to make sure that these things are safe before we start putting them in our body. Okay, these things you talking about, dude, ain't nobody signing on to that. There's some quack sitting in the corner somewhere, like I said, that's talking about putting axle grease all over your body or whatever. I mean, come on, man. There's no documentation, there's no proof, there's no science behind these things that you are trying to put into our system. You are going to erode our health system. But again, maybe that's part of the plan. I don't know. Maybe that's buried somewhere within that Project 2025. Eliminate as many American citizens as possible.
No, that's in the billionaire elite class playbook. Less people, it's easier to control. That's some of the strategies and some of these things, And you remember the what was it, the Georgia Stones that they had like things that they wanted to do and they didn't know who wrote these things on these. Was it the Gaia Stones or the Georgia Stones? Am I?
You talking about something similar to what, like X-Files or something like that?
No, well, there was this thing they built out of what was the material they built? But they built them and they wrote, we need less than 13 million people in the world. We need to stop doing this and stop doing that. It's some old thing. Ah, man, I'm blanking on the name of it. But people were thinking that somebody wealthy did this because it took so much money to do that, right? But
Mm.
think about it. If you have less people, right? Way less people. You corrupt our medical facilities and agencies and things like that take care, that make sure this stuff works. If the stuff don't work and you put it in your body, what is going to happen? The poor class is going to die faster and younger.
That's
We're
true.
not gonna live up to 80 or 90 years old. Our expectancy averages is around 70 or 60 years old for our poor class.
He evidently doesn't remember this COVID epidemic. And when the vaccine came out, how many people were dying. He's already, resistant to all of these vaccines, and vaccines do work. Now, there's a lot of people that choose not to take them, but now you're targeting a community of women, pregnant women at that. I mean, here it is, Roe versus Wade. You don't want abortions to happen, but now you're talking about killing women and their children, unborn children, because of a vaccine that you don't want to be out there. This is crazy.
And what happened to pro-life, right?
Right. That's right. I mean,
And
you're
all
just
of this,
setting people up for
all of this is
failure.
also right as a new variant of COVID is evolving. It's
So
coming
this
out.
is not gone. It's
It's
not
not
gone.
gone. It ain't going nowhere. I doubt if COVID is ever going to be
No,
totally gone.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, you're
Now, people
correct
are a
on
little
that.
more relaxed now. They're
You
not
know,
wearing masks like they used to. But the fact of the matter is it's still out there, and you still have to be safe. Me as a blind person, I definitely need to wear a mask in a public area because I don't know what they coughing up, if they covering their mouth or sneezing and covering their mouth. I have to be careful. But
well, I have
I
no,
still try to stay vaccinated up. When it's available, I'm taking the shot.
I have noticed that in large crowds, such as the protests we had all last week and whatnot,
Mm,
a lot of people that attend those kind of things are wearing masks.
right.
I mean, simply because they recognize that COVID is still out there. And not only that, what else we got popping up on us?
Right.
We
We
got
have
the
so much.
measles.
Yeah.
The measles, plus our environment, our polluted environment that our government wants to get rid of all the guidelines of our keeping our air non-polluted with non-toxins, the microplastics and all that. The logical thing is to wear a mask, honestly. I don't like wearing them because I hate it gets
I
hot and all
can't
that.
breathe in them, but I will
Yeah,
wear
but
them.
the common sense is to wear something like that because our environment, especially our environment, air we breathe all the time, it's polluted.
And like
I mean,
you were saying, some like an article that was ran on Blind United, where it is little particles, like you were saying, of plastic that you can ingest that can cause problems later on in your lungs.
there's just so many different things, as far as our environment, that are just they're doing us bad, and by lowering all of these guidelines and regulations, all you're doing is making us more susceptible to that stuff. So, anyway, right quick, Tisha says good morning, so I want to say good morning to her and Jayon as they make their way back home because they was out early this morning as well. But again, all of this stuff is just really, really crazy. I mean, we need to be doing things that's going to make our life better. I mean, come on. That's the way we've been doing it. I mean, you go back into the 1800s, the average lifespan was, 30s and 40s.
Right.
Now we getting up in the 70s. I got a homeboy of mine that's just turned 80 years old. And this man is still working. He works at the airport. He's one of the people that goes through there with that electric device that they now have since COVID, that electric device that sanitizes the inside of the airplane.
Mm.
That's his job. As you guys are walking out the front of the airplane, he's walking in the back of the airplane. Okay? And that's what he does for 8 hours a day at 80 years old.
Wow.
Okay? man, I applaud this brother. I mean, again, 80 years old. Who wants to be out there working at 80 years old? Well, like he said, well, hey, there ain't no sense in me sitting at home doing nothing. I might as well get up and go to work. Dog, do you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you as long as you can do you.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah. At 80, you should be able to do what you want if you want to
Whatever.
be at work and do something like that, like a part-time or whatever it is. Or if you want to go sit in the boat and watch the marina, like you're at that
but
level,
how
you
about
know?
this one? How about this one? You make it to where people, when they get into their senior years, no longer have to struggle.
That.
Okay.
Right. Right.
Make it possible for them to be able to make sure they pay their bill. You know what I'm saying? Make sure they got all the medical care they need. Man, why not? As long as they, well, I mean, let them live to be 100, 110. I don't care. I mean, how about you let them live long enough as you claim that you got people on Social Security that's 350 years old?
Whoa,
Come
I
on,
want to live
man.
half a century. Well, not half a
Well,
century, a quarter
what
century.
was
I'm
my
fine with.
point? I'm
I
going
know,
way
I know,
out
I know.
there with it.
Right. Right.
I'm just doing what he does. Oh, this was the biggest crowd ever. Nobody's ever seen a crowd
Yeah,
bigger
yeah,
than that
yeah.
crowd. I'm just going
Hmm.
where
To
he
a
goes.
hundred. I'm
You know,
satisfied. I'm satisfied with 100.
man, I'm satisfied with whatever the good Lord gives me as long as I'm healthy. I don't want to live
Right.
that old and have to depend on somebody else to take care of me.
Right.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
But as long as I can live have quality of life, I take whatever He give me.
Hmm.
And that's what we should be shooting for, making life better. Number one, so we live longer. Number two, so that we have a society that cares for our people and make sure that they have quality of life, once they get older. You
That
know,
is true. I
I
mean, I
mean,
have a
that's
lot of neighbors in my neighborhood that, they're 80 plus and they're not using a walker or cane. And they tell me their secret is to keep moving. When you retire, don't sit down and become a couch potato, continuously move. If you got to get a part-time, do that. If you got to do yard work, whatever it is, stay active
Like,
because that keeps you
hiking,
alert and that
gym.
keeps you healthy. And I
whatever
plan
it
on
is.
doing that if the good Lord allows me to.
Whatever it is. I mean, even if you just come out of your house and, make a trip around the block in the morning, make another trip around the block in the evening, whatever. Like they say, get your 20 minutes of exercise in a
Cardio or
day.
what have you.
Whatever it is, just do something. So, I mean, it's just totally, totally crazy. I mean, I can't wait for them to give me another shot. I got mad when they told me that they moved it to once a year. I thought I was getting ready to go in and get the new one, and they told me, no, you got to wait because it's now once a year.
And I think they put an age limit on it now. I think you have to be 65 plus or something of that sort now.
Well, I don't know, but all I know is I'll take whatever they're gonna give me.
I will too. If it's out there, I want it.
I mean, again, I'm not scared of vaccines. We've had this conversation. I bear the mark of the vaccine.
And so do I, Ed. I got a
Yeah.
childhood tattoo that is still on my arm today.
I'm not gonna call it the mark of the beast. I'm gonna call it the mark of the vaccine. I mean,
The
again,
mark of the
I call mine the
vaccine.
childhood tattoo.
That was the
know,
early version of the vaccine right there, guys. You
Yes, it
got
was.
better. We're on vaccine, generation 20, who knows what. But as in time it goes, technology gets better and better. Our lifespan has been expanding. Even though JFK wants us to swim in dirty, dirty, dirty water like he had in his commercial, that promo he was putting out.
with his grandkids. With his grandkids.
That's crazy. Well, I mean, history has showed that vaccines work. You look at smallpox, you look at influenza, you look at all of these things that it is eliminated that the vaccines definitely help with. So what he's talking about is boo-boo.
I mean, think about back in the day when every year you had the annual Jerry Lewis telethon, right?
Right.
The March of Dimes for polio, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't need to do all that stuff no more. I mean, not that polio has totally been eliminated, but it is no longer a major threat to
Right.
our society that it was. So I mean, again, I'm down. Hook me up. I'll take whatever you need to give me to keep me from getting sick. I'm sorry. I'm down. Okay, call me a guinea pig, whatever. Call me a pin cushion. I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Just don't get me sick.
I'll be a live, living, breathing pin cushion. Okay. So anyway, that is the end of our Tuesday. So I appreciate everybody for stopping in and hanging out with us. It would always be appreciated if you would like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, whatever you can do on whatever platform. As I say every day, please do it. It doesn't take much effort from you, but it really does help the channel and help Blind United get the word out to more and more people. And as always, please don't forget to join us tonight for Basic Jaws with Andrew Del Castillo at 6 p.m. tonight. And hey, it's Taco Tuesday, so everybody go out and have a really good taco tonight. How about that one? And
Yum.
Make sure it's good and spicy so you can forget about Trump for a couple of minutes anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, but on that note, everybody have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Have a great one.